Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to my most venerable teacher Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, Dhamma Prince. Nice to see you again. The lesson that we have for the class today is beautiful. It is from the Salayatana Samyutta. Salayatana Samyutta is all about the sense faculties. It's a huge collection of Dhamma. Name of the discourse is Simile of the Lute. I guess that you have read this discourse before. When the Buddha was giving this discourse, the simile of the lute is a musical instrument. We say this in Sinhala, Vīṇa. In Hindi also, Vīṇa. It's like a sitar, strings, and many things. It's a beautiful musical instrument. Very pleasant music gives us the Vīṇa. But Buddha gives this Dharma talk, the teaching talk about the taking the Vīṇa, the lute, as a simile. To talk about the 5 aggregates of clinging. To talk about this life. What is this life? All the time Buddha speaks about this life as this, the form, Rupa. The form is all about the 4 great elements. The form is created, made out of 4 great elements. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Patavi is the solid things, like the earth. Apo is the liquid things, like the water. Tejo is the heat element, like the fire. And Vayu is the air element, like the air. This body is made out of these 4 great elements. Rupa. All right, we go to the lesson.
Bhikkhus, if in any bhikkhu or bhikkhuhini desire or lust or hatred or delusion or aversion of mind should arise in regard to form cognizable by the eye, such a one should rein in the mind from them thus. This is fearful, dangerous, strewn with thorns, covered by jungle, a deviant path, an evil path, a way beset by sacristy. This is a path followed by inferior people. It is not the path followed by superior people. This is not for you. In this way, the mind should be restrained in form. These states regarding forms cognizable by the eye, so too regarding sounds cognizable by the ear, regarding mental phenomena cognizable by the mind.
Did you understand the first part? The Buddha says that anybody, when they have things they see with the eye, maybe a lustful feeling can arise. Maybe hateful feelings can arise. Maybe resentful. Maybe any negative feeling can arise because of the eye, because of the contact of the eye. How do you see actually things? How do we get these kinds of feelings or emotions or whatever, thoughts or things with the eye contact? We need the eye, and we need that object, and we need the consciousness. Consciousness is the recognition, the ability to see things. So when these three things meet together, I, the object, and the consciousness, it's a simple thing to understand, but it's a very deep process inside, which is called the contact. When we have this contact, what can arise? Huh? Feeling arises. That's how we feel. It could be something peaceful, maybe pleasant, maybe painful, maybe anger, maybe whatever. Feeling can arise because of these three things come together. Three things meet together, get together. What? The I, the form, and then the consciousness. Any feeling. There could be fear, there could be worry, there could be maybe a peaceful feeling, maybe something anger, or maybe a desire, maybe to go somewhere, maybe to drink or whatever. That feeling comes out from the mind because of these three things coming together, which is called the contact. In Pali we say spassa. In Sinhala we say sparsha. Phassa. This is something really important to understand. The contact of the I. Because of the contact of the I, we feel things. We have feelings. Could be pleasant, could be painful, could be neutral. And also, this is not the only faculty we have. We have another faculties. As we have the eye, we have the ear. In the ear also, we have the contact. How does it happen? Ear, sound, and ear consciousness. We need that consciousness in the ear too. Ear, sound, ear consciousness. For example, are you hear the sound of your phone rings? Okay. You know that your boss is calling from your office, okay? And maybe you're late or something. That a fear arises. How? You didn't answer. But you know that? You have that your ear, you have that sound, and your consciousness coming together is called the contact. Because of that contact, all of a sudden fear arises. Why? Because you're late. Contact. Feeling arises. And this is not these are not the only faculties. We have more. The smell. We feel smells too because of the nose. We need the nose, and then the smell of, and then the nose consciousness. Okay? When you feel maybe the food from the kitchen, you're in the room and you feel that mom is cooking. You feel hungry. Why? Because of that, contact. You're not hungry, but you feel hungry. Feeling arises. This is a huge process that we do not understand when we do not pay attention. And then the things we see is different from the things we hear. Completely different. It is not subject to the eye that we hear things, right? The sound is not subject to the eye. Sound is not subject to the tongue. We do not taste the sound. Do we? But it pop, drinks, we have it. It's a different thing, ne? And then the next faculty is the tongue. We need this tongue, and we need chocolate, cookies, or whatever you like, that taste. And then the tongue consciousness coming together Feeling arises. So this is the feeling I like. This is the feeling I don't like. Painful. I don't go to that restaurant, you say, again, because you did not like that feeling. Salty, sugary, bitter, whatever. This coffee is too sweet or something. Huh? Feeling arises. And then the body. We need this body. And then the tangibles. Like what? Like the cushion you're sitting on. Maybe the cold. Maybe the heating. You feel that this room is too cold today. How? How do you feel that? Then you feel cold, right? Feeling arises. You need your body, and then the tangible, and then the consciousness. Coming together, we have the contact, consciousness of the body. And also, we have this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and some more. The mind. Mind, the thought, and then the mind consciousness. We need these three things, and then the feeling arises. Could be fear, could be worry, could be happiness, could be whatever feelings, jealousy, or whatever. Feelings arise in the mind because of the contact. So, in this description, what is the most important thing that we should understand? Most important word. Contact is the most important thing. When we understand this contact, we know that this feeling, this lustful feeling, this regretful feeling, maybe this angry thought arise because of the contact. Only the mindful person can do this. Otherwise, we categorize. I am so worried today because of my boss. I'm too worried today because of the weather. Huh? I am not happy today because of my friend. Blaming. Because of the political situation, I'm not comfortable today. But what? What is going on? Going on here inside. The faculties, okay? The faculties, and then the object outside, and then the consciousness. Coming together, you have your feeling, these kinds of things. When the noble disciple of the Buddha, who follows the Dhamma, knows really well the process inside happening. Doesn't matter if it is whatever, when they have a bad feeling, bad emotion, negative thing, you should definitely understand this is not beneficial to me. It could be whatever. Maybe the political situation, maybe the weather, maybe the bus, maybe the restaurant, maybe the war, maybe my friend, maybe the children, maybe the plumber. Negative feeling arises. Could be anger, could be worry, could be jealousy, could be regret, whatever. If it is a negative feeling, the noble disciple should think like this. How? This path is fearful. Why? You are the owner of your own karma. Karma is the action, right? When we collect good or bad or whatever karma, we are the owners of our own karma. When we have bad karma, we should have the results from the bad karma. When we have good feelings, we are the owners of that good karma too. So when we have any kind of negative thing inside, comes out of the contact of these 6 faculties, The mindful person thinks like this. This path is fearful, dangerous. What is that word again? Strewn with thorns. How do you explain this?
If you walk on a path strewn with thorns, you're going to get pierced by the thorns.
Ah, okay. Thorns are the like needles. Needles. All right. Thank you. And covered by jungle. What is the other word? A deviant path. Uneven. An evil path. A way beast. Scarcity. Yeah.
Scarcity could be lack of water.
Something like that.
All right. Yes. This is a path followed by inferior people. See, whenever you have that negative feeling, negative thing, lust could be delusion, maybe hatred. This is followed by the ignoble people, inferior people. It is not the path followed by the superior people. This is not for you. Is it a beautiful thing to do or what? It's a mindful person, the way that the mindful person can be away from the negative things when they notice the bad feelings arise in their minds, right? This is not for me. It comes out of the contact. Only the contact. This way, the mind should be trained, controlled from these states regarding forms cognized by the eye, ear, nose. You should be the controller of your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Right? Why? So when we do not understand these feelings, always working inside, we are not able to escape. Can we? We never. We do not know how anger arises here inside. Then we do not know how to eliminate, how to be aware. Do we know? No, we don't. We blame, maybe we find something different. But it is all about the content. That's why I said the most important word here is the content.
When we think of something, it's not quite that. Think of something and get something.
Feelings, yes. How is the contact? What is the contact here? Mind. Mind object is a thought and the consciousness. That's why we think about the past. We had these friends. Oh, these are my photographs. I remember the universities. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes, oh, that was the most beautiful journey we had together. We cry, we happy. It's not the eye, it's not the ear, it's not the tongue. Memory, right? That's why the mind is also called a faculty.
Suppose because the barley has ripened, the watchman is negligent. The bull fond of barley enters the barley field. He might indulge himself as much as he likes. So too because the uninstructed worldling who does not exercise restraint over the 6 bases for contact indulges himself as much as he likes by gods of sensual pleasure.
All right. Did you get that? Simile? Okay. In my Lokuswamino's translation, we see the paddy field and the cow. Suppose bhikkhus, bhikkhu, you know the bhikkhu is a monk. Bhikkhuni, the female monk. Okay, we had actually that one too. Sorry, I didn't describe it. Bhikkhuni is the female monk. Bhikkhu is a monk, right? Okay. Suppose because that the barley has ripened and the watchman is negligent. The paddy field is rich. And then the owner, he's maybe sleeping. If a bull fond of barley enters the barley field, he might indulge himself as much as he likes, eats, and destroy the field. And then, so too bhikkhus, the uninstructed worldling. Why does the Buddha use this word? The person who does not know the Dhamma, the person who does not know the mindfulness, the path, right and wrong, okay? Who does not exercise restraint over the 6 bases for the contact, indulges himself as much as he likes in the 5 chords of sensual pleasures. When we do not know the danger of 5 sensual chords, 5 sensual pleasures, we become like that bull in the barley field. Barley field is destroyed. When we see things out of control, we overwhelmed by things. We become overwhelmed by the sounds. We don't follow the restraint. When we do not follow the mindfulness, too much attached to things, that brings lots of suffering here and hereafter. Is that true? We experience this. Then what is the key for the practice? Restraining things. All the things, all the desires. For example, you like to go to a party, for example, right? And then you have peer pressure maybe to drink. It's just a feeling. This is the contact. Your ear, your eye. When you go to that party and you do this, do you experience happiness or do you experience suffering? The bad karma, the money, and your mindfulness, you everything, your health, everything. Maybe you might get accidents. Hopefully you're not someone like that. When we are out of control, like the 6 sense faculties, this restrainment of the 6 sense faculties, we do not know the limits. That's why always the mindfulness is praised by the Buddha.
Suppose because that the barley has ripened and the watchman is vigilant. If a bull fond of barley enters the barley field, the watchman would catch hold of him firmly by the muzzle. While holding him firmly by the muzzle, he would get a secure grip on the locks between his horns and keeping him in check there, would give him a sound beating with his staff. After giving him that beating, he would drive the bull away. This might happen a 2nd time and a 3rd time. Thus, that bull fond of barley, whether he has gone to the village or the forest, whether he is accustomed to standing or to sitting, remembering the previous beating he got from the staff, would not enter that barley field again.
For example, it could be worry, okay? And then worry doesn't help you for your health, doesn't help. And then how does the worry arise here? Because of the contact again. And how do we want to think about this worry? Huh? This path is fearful. Come out of the contact. When the contact becomes different, you do not feel that. Is that true? Okay, for example, when you think about the Niagara Falls, the example, you had that beautiful memory, you had people there, right? And then all of a sudden you change your thinking to something else. Could be unpleasant. And then you have a different feeling now in the mind. Why? Why does this happen? Because of the contact change. We change these feelings because the contact differs. When you understand this feeling is negative, this emotion is negative, this lustful feeling, the hatred or anger or whatever is not good for you, you can change it. You can change it. How do you want to change it? When you change the contact, you are away from that because it's frightful. It's not the path leading to the ultimate peace of happiness. And then, how do you want to train this? Buddha says that when we have the out of control of the, when we are not restraining, practicing the restrainment for the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and things, we destroy everything, like the bull in the field. Why? We lose the mindfulness. Then we need that mindfulness to develop the restraint. How? When you have that instructed noble disciple who knows this Dhamma really well, he knows, or he or she knows the Dhamma, and he had this mindfulness really learned, well learned, and he controls the eye, she controls the ear, nose, tongue, body, and the faculties. Like the owner of the land controls the bull. He stops the bull from the field. How? Beating him. Beating him. Seriously. Not one time, not two times, not three times. As much as he wanted. He did this. And then what happens? How do you beat? Huh? Seeing the danger. Seeing the danger of things. This is dangerous. This is not for you. This is not peaceful. This is not comfortable. This doesn't give you any happiness, any comfort. Beat you. This is wrong. This is just a contact. Just forget. Just have a positive feeling. Mindfulness. You need that effort. You can do this. We should understand the problem is not the outside world. The lustful feeling is not something about the flowers, about the Niagara Falls, right? The happiness or sadness is not about the things we see. It's not the weather. Even you blame the weather, it is something here. Huh? We do not get any solution. The anger arises here inside. It's individual. Blaming others, blaming circumstances, it's not the way. Being mindful is the only solution. The importance actually learning about the Dharma here, you know everything, analyzing things. This is how we get angry, or this is how we get too attached to things or something, right? You understand from the Dharma, this is how I feel this or something. Then you stop blaming. So see, the Buddha opens your eyes actually. So like the owner of the paddy field, he gives punishments to the bull. Not one time, not two times, as much as he needed, right? He gives. And then at the end, he learns the lessons. And at the end, thus the bull fond of barley, whether he has gone to the village or the forest, whether he is accustomed to standing or sitting, remembering the previous beating he got from the staff, would not enter that barley field again. Why not? This path is fearful. This is the mindfulness. So this mindfulness gives you the warnings all the times. This is wrong. This is dangerous. This leads you to the painful things. This never gives you peace. You will be kept away from Nibbana, the liberation. All right?
So two bhikkhus. When a bhikkhu's mind has been subdued, well subdued regarding the six spaces for contact, it then becomes inwardly steady, steadfast, Suppose, because there was a king or a royal minister who had never been heard, who had never heard the sound of a lute. He might hear the sound of a lute and say, "Good man, what is making this sound so tantalizing, so lovely, so intoxicating, so entrancing, so enthralling?" They would say to him, "Sir, it's the lute that is making this sound so tantalizing, so lovely, so intoxicating, so entrancing, so enthralling." He would reply, "Go man, bring me that."
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Such a beautiful thing, huh? This is how, see the wonderful Buddha explain the hard things to you in a very simple way to understand. The king and the lute. King heard a sound of lute, the music, and the king wanted to see the lute, the sitar, or maybe the veena. Huh? And he wanted to see, and he asked them to bring the lute to him. We'll see what happens.
They would bring him the lute and tell him, "Sire, this is that lute, the sound of which was so tantalizing, so lovely, so intoxicating, so entrancing, so enthralling." The king would say, "I've had enough with this lute, man. Bring me just that sound." Men would reply, "This lute, sire, consists of numerous components, of a great many components, and it gives off a sound when it is played upon with its numerous components. That is, in dependence on parchment sounding board, the belly, the arm, the head, strings, the plectrum, and the appropriate effort of the musician. So it is, sire, that this lute, consisting of numerous components, of a great many components, gives off a sound when it is played upon with its numerous components."
Beautiful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. The king wanted only the sound, but they said, "No, this is a combination of things. This is the lute. Then show me the sound."
The king would split the lute into 10 or 100 pieces. Then he would reduce these to splinters. Having reduced them to splinters, he would burn them in fire and reduce them to ashes. He would winnow the ashes in a strong wind or let them be carried away by the swift current of a river. Then he would say, "A poor king, indeed, sir, is this so-called lute, as well anything else called a lute. How the multitude are utterly heedless about it, utterly taken in by it."
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I like this part actually. The king was so mindful and he has a brilliant understanding. "A poor thing indeed, sir. It is so called lute, as well as anything else called a lute." How the multitude are utterly heedless about it, utterly taken in by it. What do you understand actually here? It's a lot of delusion we have towards the world. Comes out of impermanent things. We grasp things as me, mine, or myself. I like it. I want it. I need it. And I'm attached to the things. Things we see, things we hear, things we taste, things we smell, things we experience. We see this is pleasant, I need it, I enjoy it, I like it, and I am attached. But the reality behind this is very, very, very different. Comes out of nothing. For example, the sound from the lute, sound from the veena, sound from the sitar, maybe. We are attached to the sound. But what is it? It's just a sound. And then maybe the craving arises here. That attachment brings us in a journey of samsara. Why? we do not follow the mindfulness. We do not understand the reality behind everything. The reality is all about impermanence, impermanent things. The food, the things we see, the feelings, maybe the worry, regret, whatever, impermanent things. The I is impermanent. The things we see is impermanent. And then the consciousness of the I is very impermanent. And then the feeling arises here is very, very, very impermanent. Very short period of time we have this. But when we do not understand this impermanence, the contact, we are attached, we worry, we cry, we need it, we want it, and we have lots of plans, and we make bad merits on this because of these things. But what is the practice here? Understanding the process of these things. Be aware, being mindful is the only thing that this comes out of this. And I am attached to this because I don't follow the mindfulness. I have lost my mindfulness. Being aware, being mindful is the way that you develop your peace, comfort, and happiness. Understand the reality. The Buddha does not say that you should not eat things. It's not the things. It's not the problem with the food you eat. It's not the problem with the chocolate you eat. It is all about the desire, the lustful feelings here inside. Even the Arahants, even the Buddha, they ate. They ate food for the survival of this body. Now, but not for the enjoyment. They do not have this desire, lust, or hatred, or whatever. Then they had that ultimate peace of Nibbana.
So too, because investigates form to the extent that there is a range for form. He investigates feeling to the extent that there is a range for feeling. He investigates perception to the extent that there is a range of perception. He investigates volitional formations to the extent that there is a range of volitional formations. He investigates consciousness to the extent that there is a range of consciousness. As he investigates form to the extent that there is a range for form, consciousness to the extent that there is a range of consciousness. Whatever notions of I or my or I am had occurred to him before no longer occur to him.
What is the thing that we should understand here? The life as Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. This is all about this. Rupa is this physical body made out of 4 great elements, the physical body. Vedana are the feelings we have in our mind, comes out of the contact. Contact of what? Eye contact, ear contact, nose contact, tongue contact, body contact, and mind contact. The feeling arises out of this contact. You should understand. What is this body again? 4 great elements. Then that's it. What is it? Do we have anything more rather than these 4 great elements? No, nothing. But we categorize this is a man, this is a woman, this man is Asian, like that. But just this body. As humans, we have this human body. As animals, they have the animal body. 4 great elements. The body is the body. Anyways, the being is someone who has the journey of samskara. As humans, we have this journey. We are born here according to the karma. we will have another birth. When we depart from this world to the heavenly realm, we will have a heavenly body made out of 4 great elements, very subtle, like a light or something, I don't know. When we are born in as an animal, maybe as a cow or something, we have that body, 4 great elements again. And then the second thing, Rupa, Vedana, feelings. We have the feeling, animals have the feeling, heavenly beings, hell beings, ghosts, or yakas, any beings, they have feelings. They have feelings because of the contact of the faculties, analyzing things. With whatever we see, we feel things. This is beautiful, this is bad, we perceive things. Huh? Everywhere we go, we hear sounds, we taste things, maybe painful, maybe pleasant, whatever. It is uncountable times we have. Yeah? We have this journey of samsara. We are attached wherever we go, we attach to things. When we are born as dogs, we are attached to the dog foods. Hungry ghost realms, when we are born there, we like dirty things, not French fries. Different. Cows like grass. When we are born there, we don't need pizza. Wherever we go, we attach to things because of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, contact, and then the feelings. They feel pleasant feeling in grass. That's why they attach to things. That's why they have their journey, like we have our journey. It's not a different journey, same journey, we and they and everybody. And then the form, what is it again? Rupa. Vedana is the feeling. Sanya is the perception. Perception, that we perceive things according to the contact we perceive. Analyzing, when you analyze the perception, you will understand that is also comes out of the contact, and that's it. And then the next one, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara. Sankaras are the mental formations, volitional formations. Volitional formations is the thought comes out of the contact again. That is it. And then the hardest part to understand is the consciousness. Consciousness is made out of Nama and Rupa again. Nama, Rupa. The body is made out of Rupa, which is 4 great elements. The consciousness is made out of Nama and Rupa. What is Nama? A Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Phassa, Manasikara. In English, Vedana is feeling. Again, in the consciousness, we have the feeling. Sanya is the perception again. Chetana is the thought. Is that right, Linda? Volitional formation, we say. And Phassa is again the contact. See, everything together, consciousness is created. Manasikara is the thought. Attention. All right? Consciousness is this. Plus, this is called Nama. In English, name. And plus Rupa is again 4 great elements. Form. What is form? Again, 4 great elements. Earth element. Water elements. Heat element. And air element. Consciousness is made out of these everything. Consciousness. In consciousness, you have Nama and Rupa. Nama and Rupa. Nama, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passa, Manasikara. Rupa, earth element, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Very deep Dhamma though. So understanding the consciousness is difficult because we do not see. It's very close to the mind. It's very close to the Manasikara. In the Dhamma we see, right, Linda? But made out of these things, consciousness has a very complex things that leads us to the samsara. Consciousness in the Dhamma Buddha explains as a simile, like the magician. Consciousness is like a magician. They create many, many things that we perceive. The consciousness arises in the eye, arises in the ear, arises in the nose, arises in the tongue, arises in the body, and gives all of these emotions, feelings, contact. Consciousness had a very huge part in our life. Okay? And we do not know as it is. That's why we are too attached to things. We cry, we worry, we lament, we are happy. We had a bad day, we had a good day. We say, I'm happy, I'm sad to say goodbye. We have lots of things as this magician. The life is this, the rupa, the body, feelings again. We have feelings here too, in the consciousness. We have feelings in the eye, ear, nose, everywhere. See, consciousness. Rupa, Vedana is the feeling. Sanya is the perception. We perceive things as the colors we perceive, as the, sounds. The taste, like salt, sugar, we perceive things. Feelings, sweet things. This is life. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. When you analyze these things, you see it is like a lute, Buddha said. What does the lute give you? The sound. What beautiful sound. The wise king said, I don't need this. I don't need these impermanent things. Everything is subject to change. I'm not here to be attached. He is the one who was freed. Learning this Dhamma is not that easy. Simile of the lute. So everybody learn this Dhamma really well. Deep lessons about your life, about everything here, read. It's a lot of Dhamma, see? In all these discourses, Buddha explains about your life that we never think about. Very deep. He analyzes everything and he shows you the path to be released. When we do not understand as they really are, we cry, we depressed, we have anxiety. And all these problems we experience. It's just a contact. The life is not this. You have a beautiful path of letting go with the wisdom. Not letting go of your family, not letting go of your car, of your properties. No, it's not. It is also of letting go too, but real letting go with the wisdom. I let go of this because this is not the path, the right path. What is the right path? Noble Eightfold. Follow it. And that is the only path for the ultimate peace. Right view. Learn about right view. Sammaditthi. What is Sammaditthi? Sammaditthi is all about the noble truths. This is the noble truth of suffering. This is the noble truth of origin of suffering. This is the noble truth of cessation of suffering. This is the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And also we have another part too. Giving is a merit. Giving service is a merit. Believing in this. And karma is the main part in my life. Believing in this. This world and that world. Believing in the worlds. After this life, we will be reborn in another world. Another place. Believing in this is the right view. I have my mother, I have my father. Mother and father are very special people. Giving them something is a good merit. Treating bad them is a really bad merit. This is the right view, Buddha said. And there are people who understand this Dhamma and were freed from this world, like the Buddha, the Arahants, the Bhikkhunis. The dispensation is beautiful. Understand, believing in this is the right view. Samadhi, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha. You might have learned about Noble Eightfold Path. Learn this Dhamma very deep. This is so peaceful. All the time we talk about suffering. All the time we talk about the origin of suffering. Why? Why? This life is all about suffering. The cessation of suffering is the Nibbana, is the ultimate happiness. That's why Buddha is born in this world and showed the path. To open your eyes on the path leading to the happiness. We do not know that we are in suffering. We do not know. We suffer. We get old. We die. We say goodbye things. Separation from loved ones. It's tremendous suffering everywhere. In the human world, we suffer like this. But what about the animal world? Thousands of millions of animals are killed in a day. Suffering. The little ones are eaten by the other ones in the front of their parents in the animal world. Is it happiness or suffering? This is the nature of this journey of samsara.